JS on air now. The bird flu virus at the center of an international debate is actually stored in a padlocked freezer in a lab at UW-Madison.
So why do researchers have to wait for permission to continue their work? We're joined by Karen Herzog from the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Karen, what's the holdup?
Well, for about the last year, there's been a big debate about how tight does the security and the biosafety measures have to be around this virus in order for researchers to work with it safely. It's in a secure, very secure lab. I was in that lab last week, talking submarine doors, airtight doors that control airflow so that the air is perfectly safe. There are all kinds of measures that are in place, but the federal government is looking at, are they enough? And this all started because the research was just published a year ago, and when they started looking at the research prior to publication, that gave them pause to wonder, well, gee, if we put this out there, will other people be able to use it? Could terrorists use this information? What exactly are we doing in these labs?
There was a question in the notes sent over to us, and I'm just going to read you the question as it came to us. What happened to the ferrets who had the virus? There were ferrets who had this virus?
Yes, they used ferrets as a model for transmitting this virus. Currently, this particular virus is only spread by birds to birds, very rarely people. But what they want to determine is whether it can be spread to mammals. And so they used ferrets because ferrets are very similar to people. When they have a virus, they sneeze, they cough. That's how the virus is transmitted. So once they finished using these ferrets for the research, they euthanized them. Then they sterilized them to make sure that there was no virus still left in the carcass, and then they incinerated the carcasses.
Wow.
So they are doing a lot to make sure that that virus does not escape into the environment.
And what about other nations? They have the green light, correct?
There are some that have the green light. Most of the major nations still don't, and there's more research that's being done in the Netherlands on this virus. It's another high-profile researcher, Yoshihiro Kawaoka, is in UW-Madison, is a very high-profile researcher. But if it's American funding, if it's from the National Institutes of Health that fund the research, which most of the significant research does have that source, they don't have the green light to do it.
That's the stopping point. Karen Herzog, thank you so much. You can read more about it at jsonline.com. We also have a link on our website, today's TMJ4.com.